since 2012, since I was there last, is something else which is very irresistible to me. So I'm really looking into that as well. So yeah, rest was a good concept, but possibly busy times ahead. It seems that there is no rest for the activist in the modern world. But again, folks, the prospect of Rafah crossing being open and actually maybe, possibly even being able to get into Gaza Strip, this is something that I really have to seize the opportunity while it's there, if it's in any way possible. So who knows what the future will bring. It might be an interesting year, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's shaping up to be one already. I really do need to get some rest though soon, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. It's been an incredibly grueling couple of years, but, well, sleep when I'm dead, I suppose. That's what it's all about, isn't it? You got to live life to the fullest, and what a mess we're in. I mean, that's the thing, once you really begin researching all this stuff and you step onto the path of actually getting active, not just researching, but getting out there and getting active in the world and attempting to empower others and going out and exploring and finding out what's really going on, well, it just becomes a mission that is a never-ending mission, because we truly are in a good deal of trouble. The world is in a complete mess, and those who are running things don't take holidays, they don't take breaks, they don't take time off, they work around the clock. They work in shift work around the clock to get their agenda forward and to make sure it always stays on track. Even though they suffer little delays sometimes, they still seem to get it back on track. So that's why it becomes very difficult to take time off in doing this type of research and doing this type of activism once you start, because the world is in such a mess. But even with all of it, I still have an enormous amount of faith that we can heal the human condition. I still have an enormous amount of faith that we can get ourselves back on track and get back to what we once were, because I think that it really would be easy to do if enough people could simply get a grasp on reality, get a grasp on what their real power is. I've often said to you that if everyone were to wake up immediately, if everyone were to wake up instantaneously, if there was to be some sort of worldwide epiphany, we could quite literally change all of this reality in 3 seconds. We could change everything in 3 seconds. Even if we were to get back to our personal sovereignty and still believe this system is real, we could change the world in 3 days if we all wake up. But if we truly woke up to our real power, if all of our DNA was to come online, if all of our higher senses were to kick in, if we were to truly see the beauty in ourselves enough to see the beauty in others, we could quite literally change the world in a flash. In 3 seconds, we could be living in a whole new reality. It really is that simple. That's how powerful we are. Well, that's how powerful I would suggest we are anyway, simply due to some of the experiences I've had in my life. And it gets very difficult doing these shows sometimes, because there's so much darkness in the world and there's so much negative information that people need to be made aware of, simply because being made aware of it will provide them the opportunity they need to heal the situation. But it becomes very difficult to bring such dark information to people and to attempt to keep the shows empowering. But I think all information is empowering, folks. All information is light, ultimately. It's just different forms of light. Some people have difficulty processing different forms of light, but ultimately it's all light. That's what enlightenment is. It's bringing light to the darkness. And as soon as we face the darkness really has nowhere to go. It has to flee before the light. And that is the whole purpose of looking at the darkness, because that's the only way to heal the human condition. It really is. As uncomfortable as it is to admit that, unfortunately, it has to be done. And that's what I try to do on these shows, but I try to at least attempt to show you where the light is, because all is certainly not lost, folks. We are at a turning point, most definitely, but all is not lost, and this is a very, very important time in human history. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached that time again where it is the end of the show, and it's been a pleasure to come and talk to you today. I know I've covered a lot of weird esoteric topics, but that's just the way it goes. All these shows are just a free thought flow, just sort of general philosophizing, really, and attempting to look at things a little bit differently, attempting to offer a broader perspective. And again, is any of what I said today true? I don't know. A lot of it is quite interesting, though, and it's certainly quite possible and something that is worth considering. As I said, it certainly does provide a lot of answers for me, and I find it quite empowering to consider the concept that these histories are recycling and that this is a very short cycle that we're in, and that technology has actually been here for quite a while. The fact that not too long ago we were very likely living in a free world, I find it to be a very empowering thing. Anyway, folks, that is it for me. I've completely run out of time. Thank you to all my supporters. Thank you to all the people who send me so many wonderful emails. I didn't get to answer as many as I wanted to last week, but I'm going to be working on answering emails again for the next few weeks, so I will be getting to your emails soon. I do apologize for the delay in my doing so. Thank you to all the wonderful comments that I get on YouTube and all the wonderful friends on Facebook I have, and thank you to all my Steemit friends, and MeWe friends, my Gab friends, my LinkedIn friends. Just thank you to everybody, and thank you to all the wonderful Patreon supporters that I have. You people really do keep the show going. Make no mistake about that. In fact, it's only the Patreon supporters that have kept this show on air for the last 2 years. So a big thank you to all those people, and I'm sure even the people who don't donate to Patreon also thank you, because no one would be listening to the show, and I wouldn't be able to do any of the stuff that I do or get this message out to anybody if it wasn't for you guys. So you really do have my most sincere thanks. But that is it for me, folks. I will look forward to speaking to you again next week. Please take very good care of yourselves until then. Unite with the people around you and be a shining light in your community, and lead by example in all that you do. Do that and you will help make a difference, because everybody can do it, and everybody who does it does make a difference.